right, good evening. Welcome to the Malden Board of Appeal public meeting. Today's November 15th, 2023. The Malden Board of Appeal will hold a public hearing Wednesday, November 15th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at Malden City Hall, 215 Pleasant Street, room 106, Herbert L. Jackson, Council Chambers, Malden, Mass. On the following named petitions. This meeting may be recorded by Urban Media Arts, formerly known as Malden Access Television. Before we do anything else, we'll do a roll call for attendance. Tonight, one of our regular members, Adam Sherwin, is absent, so one of our alternative members is going to sit in, and tonight that will be Armin. So with that, we'll do a roll call for attendance. You're already on. Everybody's on, by the way.
Okay. Kramer?
Here.
Foyer?
Here.
King?
Here.
Bilgan?
Here.
Codavarian?
Yes.
Chu?
Here.
Thank you. Absent is Sherwin. All set.
All right, next we are going to approve the minutes from our September meeting. Our last meeting was in September. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes? Would somebody like to make a motion to approve those?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay. A motion to approve the minutes of September. We'll make a
September 20th.
Okay. Foyer?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Bilgan?
Yes.
Codavarian?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
Thank you. Minutes are approved.
Okay. So because of time constraints tonight, one of the petitioners, Malden Catholic High School, from what I understand, has another meeting to go to after this across the hall. So we'll be listening to Malden Catholic first. Malden Catholic is seeking variances under Code of the City of Malden as amended, Title 12, Section 12.16.010, Table of Intensity Regulations, public or nonprofit school, specifically setbacks, front, side, both sides, and coverage, principal building, Title 12, Section 12.20.010, basically off-street parking and loading regulations, parking, public, nonprofit schools permitting construction of an academic and athletic facility as per plan CMID 0622482023 at the property known as and numbered 50 Crystal Street, Malden, Mass., and also known by City Assessors Parcel ID 128437701.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Good evening, members of the Board of Appeals. My name is Roberto DeMarco. I have an office at 350 Main Street, Malden, and a residence at 17 Division Street, Malden. I'm a lifelong resident myself. I'm here on behalf of Malden Catholic. Full disclosure, I've been part of the school.
Can you turn your mic on?
Oh, sorry, I thought you.
There it is.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
In full disclosure, I've been a member of the school's community for my entire life. I am here because Malden Catholic has sought to modernize. The project before you is based on an opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that Malden Catholic has. Malden Catholic used to be over, many may remember this, over at Highland Avenue, and had a stadium over at what is now the Elder Services, Mystic Elder Services on the corner of Medford and Highland. And not Medford and Highland, Medford and Commercial. And Malden Catholic moved over to the present location back in the 60s. And it is landlocked. It is stuck between industrial zones. It is stuck between a variety of other uses, commercial uses. It is a school that sits in the middle of neighbors that will never move. Those businesses have been owned forever. However, Malden Catholic has been doing an amazing job of growing Tonight with me, I have the president of Malden Catholic, John Thornburg, our director of facilities, DJ Kachaputi, and our development team from Scalora, Timberline, and VHB. And what we are prepared to present to you, if you'd like, is the plan to expand the campus for the first time in 60 years. That plan, we've had the unique opportunity to purchase what was the Viking Seafood factory across the street. They came to us because we were good neighbors to them and said, do you want it, back 5 years ago. And at the time, the school was suffering. It was not in a growth phase. It was having a tough time. But we knew we had it in us to expand and to do something to modernize. We started an all-girls program, and we decided to expand when other Catholic schools in our network were shrinking. And today, Malden Catholic is the fastest growing high school in the Northeast. We have the largest single-gender girls program in the Northeast as well. We are ranked number 7 of the private Catholic high schools in Massachusetts, and all of the 6 above us charge almost double what we charge. We are a blue-collar school like we've always been, and we intend to continue growing, but we need your help. Because of the shape of the lot, the topography of this land, because we are separated from this lot by a street, we end up needing variances. The cost of developing this facility that would be usable by us requires that we build to what we have here. This project needs 3 variances. The first 2 have to do with the dimensional controls. The first one being the setbacks. We've developed this plan after 15 different iterations. I went back and counted them. We were up to 80,000 square feet. We kept redesigning over and over again to limit what we were doing to the bare minimum. We need setbacks, which we're actually going to pull away from what Viking had a much larger footprint of its building, so we're pulling back. And we're adding parking. Viking didn't have very much parking. And the lot coverage. So those 3 variances, the setbacks, the lot coverage, and finally the parking. But if you look at the whole campus, all of that's in front of you. You have the school, you have our field, our stadium. We more than make up for what we're doing here. We have in excess, without this development, we have an excess of 70 plus parking above our requirement on the campus. We're putting 20 more here. With a 72,000 square foot building, we need 70 spots. We're going to have in excess, after development, we'll have in excess of 20 spots. 19, I think, actually, to correct myself. 19 spots more than we're required on the campus as a whole. And because of that separation, that's why we need that. Because if we didn't have the street in front of us, Crystal Street, we actually wouldn't need to ask for parking because we could merge the lots. So what we're going to do to mitigate that for the city is that we're going to file with the registry a restriction on the use of this building. We're going to make it so that nobody can buy this building and use it outside of the campus as a whole, so that Malden Catholic will constantly, if the school ever closed, God forbid, then it would have to go together as one deed. We will restrict ourselves from ever separating this building off from the main campus, so that the parking that's used on the main campus is used for this. The setbacks, like I said, we're making it smaller, and we've limited as much as we can the coverage of the lot. We are only dealing with setbacks on a few of the sides issues, and otherwise the building is completely allowable. It's a less burdensome use, and it is the variance that will not disrupt the zone as a whole. So, as per the standard, it needs to be unique to this lot. It needs to be not to the detriment of the neighborhood. It needs to be because of the uniqueness, because of topography, because of the soil conditions, the shape of a lot. You can see this is a lot with only 3 sides, 2 of them streets. So the uniqueness of this lot, using it as a school in an industrial zone, this is not a variance that you will ever see come back before you. And for that reason, we would ask that you consider this favorably and you allow the school to do this, because without it, we can't modernize. We can't give the students what they need. This building will have a 30,000 square foot indoor field that will be a benefit to the community as a whole. It will have another gymnasium, and it will have 21st century classrooms and other athletic facilities. The 21st century classrooms will have financial literacy, will have entrepreneurship, will have biomedical. And the other part that we'll be adding, because we are the only school in our system that does not have this, we will be adding programs for 7th and 8th graders. But that will not increase very much. You know, there will be an increase, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but it will not increase grossly what we have already. We have the ability to hold up to 1,000 students. We're not in the building that we have. We have 860 in that building. We've added a temporary classroom out in the parking lot if you've been by. That's going to go away. We're going to regain that part of the parking lot, and these kids are going to be moved into this building. So overall, I think the detriment is lower. I don't think we're burdening the neighborhood. We had an informal meeting with the neighborhood as a whole. We went out and invited more than the abutters. We invited people from 500 feet around both properties, asking them to come so that we could talk to them about this. We've had several of the politicians come through to talk to us about what we were doing to make sure we weren't impacting. I've had discussions with them. We are following the new open space requirements for classrooms. We are following the requirements for all the other dimensional controls. So with these 3 variances, we'll have a great 21st century building here in Malden and continue to be able to build for the next 100 years for this school. If you would like, I can introduce you to our design team who can guide you through the development, or I stand ready to answer questions.
I've read through everything pretty thoroughly. I don't know if anyone else wants to hear more. Or if we should just go to questions.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the plan that shows the setbacks, just so we could
Certainly.
potentially ask questions if we have any.
Let's see.
While you're looking, I was writing it down. More parking. It's a smaller building, so it's less non-conforming. And you said one other thing after that. More parking, less non-conforming.
More parking, our setbacks are better, and we're adding more open space.
Right, okay.
So you can see we've added trees. We're in the middle of discussions with the city that we want to take the trees off the sidewalk, just so this group knows, because they're interfering with ADA accessibility. So we'll be seeking to have them removed, but we'll be replacing more than what's there in trees on the property. And this building will be meeting all of the energy requirements, and we'll be making it able to place solar on the roof. Malden Catholic, by the way, has, I believe, at last research, we are the largest solar farm in the city right now. On the roof of 99 Crystal Street. So, but this is the project. You can see that the outline of the other building is underneath it. So we're closer. The old building is closer on Sharon Street than we are, and
We're a little bit closer to Crystal.
we're a little closer to Crystal.
Facing the school.
That's right. So we moved it a little bit closer to Crystal than the old building, but we are further away from Sharon Street, which right now the building is gone, but the building that was there, Viking Seafood, was right on the border.
Is it any specific program that's putting you over the coverage percentage that's required?
No, it's fitting the classrooms. So if I can put you up to the schematic of how the building is going to be laid out. Let me show you. So this is the first floor. That field, that indoor field, they only come in certain sections because it's a prefab building for budgetary reasons. And so if we were to take out the sections, financially it becomes more expensive and we don't have enough room. So the field is based upon the number of sections that we have for the prefab, based on the financing. So before we were bigger, so we shrunk it down and we went to the next segment. Below that, the field isn't financially viable because it gets too small. Then we have a high school gymnasium. We took out the seating in it, so it's just a practice gymnasium now in order to shrink it down. And then we have other facilities on the first floor, including a weight room and a classroom. Now, if you go to the next one, which actually shows you the second floor, you can see that the size of the classrooms for the literacy, etc. These are classrooms which are required for, based upon the design elements to fit the high school kids in them, along with the different facilities. And then, if you go to the third floor, these are the classrooms that are all the standard size. So if we went smaller, and we already shrunk them by 100 square foot each, because we were originally at 800, now we're at 700. We go smaller than that, we end up not being big enough to really attract based upon what people expect. So we're trying to make sure that this is a marketable product and not lose people because they walk in and they feel like it's too closeted in.
So the classrooms are 700.
On average?
Actually, they were a little.
They were 800.
Oh, gotcha,
I
okay.
apologize.
All right, 'cause
So
the
we
plans
brought
say
them down to
800.
800, that's right, okay. My apologies. But yeah, we reduced the size and we reduced the number of classrooms as well.
Can you remind me what the percentage is that you're over?
On the setbacks? Or on the?
On the lot coverage?
On the lot coverage, it's 50% allowed, we're at 67.
What's the current building?
What was the current building?
So we're at 66.3. This building, the footprint is pretty much exactly, we're a little bit bigger than the existing footprint, so that was also in 66 last year.
We've just stretched it out so that we have better
That's a
setbacks.
different use, it has a different coverage restriction, so.
Could you make it work at the same lot coverage? Would that mean?
At the
shrink-
66, I mean, we're within a percent, how far off are we?
We're within like square feet. We might, I'd have to get the exact existing number. I think the existing building is a little bit bigger than the proposed. I'm talking like 20 square feet now.
So we've matched it.
Yeah, I think I saw in the documents that it was less.
I apologize, I
Smaller,
had that wrong.
smaller
I thought I said less,
footprint.
Well, our former designs were at, when we first did, and what we did was we went out to our community, we went to our teachers, we went to the various people in our network. Our first design came in at 80,000 square feet. Then we redesigned again. To be completely honest, we were at $40 million. We cut back. We went as low as 28, and that's where we are right now. And at $28 million, we can't get any lower than that based on materials and cost. So we're squeezing every dollar we can. Like I said, there were about 15 different iterations, 80,000, then we had another one at 76, then we were back up to 77,000, then we went down to 74. This one is 72? 72,000 square feet.
Do you mind going back to the site plan with the setbacks? on it?
Absolutely. Let's see. That should have it.
So it looks like your setbacks are curved, sort of a dashed line
Yes.
following the street. So there's some areas, but the majority of your setback problem is the large indoor field.
That's correct.
again, the lot coverage with this is going to be,
It's
I mean,
less burdensome than what was there.
and it's the same issue with the parking. I mean, if this were one lot between your two lots, I mean, you'd be, your lot coverage would be a
Correct,
lot
when you look
less.
at them, if the two sites together as a campus,
Yep.
we would meet the coverage requirement. and meet the-
By a big amount.
By a big amount, yes. We're only at 30% on the other campus or less. And if we added them together, we'd still be effectively at like 40. And in addition, because of the curve of the street, we end up having to stagger. You can see the construction staggering. And we at one point had swiveled the indoor field, so it was horizontal instead. And when we did that, we ended up encroaching further and creating some shadows on neighbors. So we turned it back so that it was more towards us, like was stated, instead of, being overpowering to our neighbors to the Sharon Street side. So we've been trying to fit everything we can with what we have. If there was no street in the middle, we looked at taking over the street. We talked about whether or not we could petition the city to take over the street and bring the campus together, but it's not economically feasible because we'd have to take out structures underneath that street in order to make this work because of the weight of the building. So, a variety of different iterations went into this that would have changed different configurations. I feel that based upon the last year and a half of meetings and longer, we actually had a model sitting on a desk in the middle of COVID when we were trying to figure out how to make this work as potential. And we did quite a bit of value engineering, and there's still some to be done in terms of finishes and things like that to try and keep the cost under control. But the footprint is the footprint that we would ask that you allow.
Has anyone ever done, vote without a final deed? So they're proposing that they're gonna go to the city after to get the deed to call
So
this a
this is all
campus
contingent upon the sale?
No,
No,
we
they
own it.
You own it.
We own it, but we would put that restriction on and make sure that this could never be used as an independent building.
So
That's our point.
So we can make it contingent upon that happening.
I'm not sure if that's enforceable long-term. Why are you doing that instead of a parking easement?
Because we want to make sure that this building, it's going to be under the same ownership. And from our position, a restricted use covenant on this building would prevent future administration from saying, you know what, we need the money, let's sell the building. But then you're going to end up with this independent use that doesn't have necessarily the parking. And who knows what the next use would be. Right now, this building, 90% of this building is being used by the same people who use the building across the street. So realistically, these are 20 spots that, while obviously we're adding, we don't need because we're not adding people who drive.
I guess I don't really understand like the premise of the restricted use on the building, saying how they need to be like sold like as a whole, like together, like in the future if they're sold, because if I'm like a buyer, I could buy it and it has a restriction on it, but then I can just terminate the restriction and subdivide the.
If there's a restrictive covenant, you're gonna be, and it's part of the restriction for the use, I don't think, I've talked to the title company on this, and they feel that it is absolutely enforceable.
Who would enforce it?
The city wouldn't be able to enforce it.
Okay. So
I mean, it's part of our occupancy.
it would be a covenant that's granted to the city then?
The city would have the ability to enforce that covenant, yes.
Okay.
And we've gotten that theory passed, and they, according to the title company and the title attorneys, they said, yes, we absolutely can join the two lots under a restrictive covenant for their use to be together at all times.
Okay, I mean, I guess if the city's name, that's one thing, but if it was just like something that.
Oh, if it's just Malden Catholic,
Right,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you guys can waive it like later on, right?
We wait 5 years and we
Right.
release it on our own.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sell it
Okay.
as condos.
absolutely. I agree with you.
Any other questions?
Any support for the public?
Oh, so as a matter of fact, I don't know if you got it, but an email did come in last minute.
No, we did not.
So I have it. Let me open up my email. You're gonna have to bear with me because it's
Certainly, Mr.
small. I'm
Chair.
reading off my phone. So, this is from Councillor Stephen Winslow. I am writing to express support for Malden Catholic's request for variances from zoning requirements so that they can construct a new athletic and educational building at 50 Crystal Street. The addition of an athletic facility provides more year-round capacity for young athletes who come from in and around Malden, a resource that's in short supply within the city. I am pleased that the new building complies with the recently enacted open space requirements for schools that the council adopted. I have spoken with MC attorney Roberto DeMarco and appreciate that MC has been working on traffic analysis. Ward 6 voters consistently express concerns about the amount of traffic congestion that occurs at school drop-off and pickup around the two Malden public schools, the charter school and MC. The charter school and MC, and a key priority remains efforts to implement road improvements that provide safe and efficient mobility for all, no matter what mode they choose. With a new bus route traveling down Maplewood to Eastern Avenue and the increasing options residents have in terms of a new electric-powered devices, the city must be responsive to the changing mobility patterns that are now emerging and that will emerge and will provide options to single occupancy vehicles that require parking. MC has many existing parking spaces and will be adding some more that will be more than sufficient to meet expected demand. So I support the request for a variance from parking requirements. Stephen Winslow, City Councilor, Ward 6. And let me just, I don't think anything else came in. These were like,
I'll check mine.
that's all I had.
I'm checking mine now, see if anyone came in.
I expected that I was going to have some of the other people here. They've met with us several times and participated in several of the meetings, including Council Simonelli, the mayor's office, and the other city councilors at large.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing else?
No.
Okay. Is anyone here to speak in opposition of this? Okay. If there are no other questions from the board, somebody want to make a motion?
I will make a motion, but how do I say it? Motion to approve?
Yep, you just have to say that the covenant would have to travel with the land to the city, right? So
Basically, the city has to be named as a beneficiary on that restrictive covenant, so the city can enforce it.
So I made Susan,
With condition?
I made Armin a voting member tonight, but Susan is an alternate member, but obviously knows the verbiage that needs to be included with any motion that we would use to grant this.
Yeah.
I think I can word it, and then you guys could just make the motion, so it would be
Right,
like,
say ditto.
motion to approve with a condition that a restricted covenant be placed on the parcels to the effect that they need to be conveyed together as basically 3 parcels together for any future conveyance.
And to be used together at
And
all
to be,
times.
yeah, and to be used together at all times.
And do we have to say that's enforceable by the city of Malden or anything like
Yeah.
that?
and
Granting enforcement.
Granting enforcement rights to the city of Malden.
Yeah, and I would just say maybe that's strictly for parking. I mean,
I guess what is the intention? Is the intention of that
The
just like,
the
just
intention
in
is
relation to
because,
the parking?
because we're using the parking next door.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess the intention behind it, so I know the parking, I guess the intention is because like as a whole altogether, like your sort of point is like, it's not like non-conforming really, if you look at the three parcels as a whole, right?
That's correct.
Because like as a whole, you meet like you meet the lot coverage, like percentages, you meet the parking, and then, you know, the setbacks necessarily.
And if we were actually together, we wouldn't have this type of configuration of the lot.
Right.
Which would allow the setbacks not to be an issue, because we could have reconfigured the building closer to the other buildings as a secondary use, or connected them and expanded the original buildings.
Right.
So, yeah, so I don't think you need to restrict it to the parking itself.
Okay.
It's
It
really.
makes sense with lot coverage.
It's really as like, as a whole, like, you know, that's part of the reason for granting the variance, because of their argument, like, as a whole, if you look at the three parcels together, based on that theory, like, they would technically be conforming.
Did you write all that down, Kathy?
Yeah, do I have to repeat all that?
Kathy's
She'll read it back right after we have a second.
If we have a second.
If we have a second. I second.
All right. A motion by Florio, second by King, to approve this petition with conditions of restricted use covenant be placed on the parcel to be conveyed together for any future conveyance to be enforced by the City of Malden.
Yeah, I mean, you could add that, like, the city will have, like, review and approval rights over the language of that covenant, because I don't know, like, if.
I could
Malden-
pass it by the city attorney.
Yeah, like, the city attorney might want to take a look over it and have, like,
I
feedback on the
trust that they
language.
would work together and figure it out.
To be approved by the city attorney.
Sure.
Yeah, the form to be approved by the city attorney, yeah.
The city solicitor. All right, let's take a vote. All right, we're gonna call the vote. Florio?
Yes.
Thank you. Bilgan?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Almond Codeville?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
All in favor, petition 23-008, Malden High School for 50 Crystal Street has been approved.
Malden
Thank
Catholic.
Malden Catholic.
Oh, jeez, that hurt.
I'm gonna-
Thank you very much, members of the board. I appreciate you taking me out of turn and appreciate your quick work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Okay, so the next, I'll wait, I'll give it a minute, let people clear out.
Oh,
That was a laptop. Are you the next petitioner? Do you need the screen? Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, so the next petition is petition 23-006 by Jerome Payen. Did I say that right? Payen?
Yes.
Seeking an appeal under Code of the City of Malden as amended, Title 12, Section 12.32.040, A3, to hear and decide appeals of decisions made by the Inspector of Buildings or other administration official per plans RES 059246-2023 at the property known as and numbered 48 Suffolk Street in Malden, Mass., and also known by City Assessor's Parcel ID 100449903. So if I'm reading this correctly, we're not approving or denying, or granting or denying any sort of plans, but whether or not we agree with the building commissioner's decision on this petition. Okay.
All right. So my name is Jerome. I've been living in Malden since 2014. Since I bought my house, I've done a lot of renovation to make it up to date. As you know, this old house need a lot of things, a lot of repair to make it up to date, to make you comfortable, to make it a home. Okay, so so included. Sorry about that. So all included, I renovate my kitchen. I have a new roof. I improve my backyard. If you go in the whole neighborhood, my backyard is the best. It's the most beautiful backyard in the area. So after doing all this work, so for family needs, I feel like I need an extra bedroom. So my kids are in Malden, so we love Malden. We don't have any plan to move anywhere. My kids are in Cherry School, so the next move for them is Malden Catholic, which is 5 minutes away from my house. So my son is where he wants to go. He doesn't want to, he would be very mad for any reason I have to move out of Malden. Yeah. So, especially I'm a healthcare worker. COVID-19 have taught me a good lesson. If I had a basement after Sunday, after working, treating people on a ventilators, myself been exposed many times. So if I have a basement, you know, some night I will hide myself in the basement, you know, because I know, who knows, next coming here, what we will face, come pandemic. Okay, so I know I presented a draft. It has been denied twice. So, and I modified it a little bit. So basically, at some point, I say, you know, I have no plan to use that, my basement renovation for any business. It's just for family needs, okay? So at some point, they say, you know, you cannot have a kitchenette. A kitchenette means an area you can have a few cabinets with no. I remove that, okay, that's fine. And after that, I said, you know, you don't meet the variance because you try, at the beginning, I tried to make a different entrance just to make it safe. If something happened, we have a back entrance, we have a front entrance. I heard, so the front entrance is kind of little, it's against the code. Again, I kind of agree to remove, don't do the front entrance, just to keep my basement entrance and add an existing entrance. So at this point today, I will ask a variance for parking because they told me I don't meet the parking requirement for that. And as you know, every kid needs a bedroom to sleep, but every kid doesn't need a car. So they are on the edge of driving. So at this point, so this is I would like to try to approve. So just keep it, the structure the way it is, add just a bedroom and a playroom for the kids. And I have my basement has only one exit and entrance, and I will add another exit and at the back of my room, of the back, make it safe. So I would like to do it the right way, and it's what I ask for a permit, and I agree to pay the fee, whatever the city asked me to do, just to make it conform. I try to do it the right way. So this is, at this time, this is, if that can be approved, as you can see it, so this is my existing entrance, and I will just ask another entrance on the back, just to make it safe. So at this point, so I need a parking variance to waive that. So because, you know, as I said, as the rule, any room you add need to add additional parking. And obviously, I don't have enough parking on my backyard to do that. So even though I was trying to do something else when I initially present the drive, so because that can be, so again, that doesn't mean the requirement. Obviously, if there is a true emergency, so this is my backyard, I can put 2 cars all the way here and make it take 5 or 6 cars if I need to do, in case of emergency. If there is a situation, nobody can park on the parking, so basically I can park 5 or 6 cars inside of my property.
So with this new bedroom you're proposing, how many bedrooms total?
So it's going to be, let me see, actually the property is 5 bedrooms. So it's a 2-family home with 5 bedrooms, and now it's going to be 6 bedrooms.
And I believe, so for tandem parking spaces, and Nelson, maybe you can answer this. Two, so 4 in a row is really only 2 spots, or 4 in a row is 1 spot? So 4 tandem spaces. You can't do 4 tandem. Okay. Okay. So this, again, is an administrative petition. So our role tonight is to decide whether or not the denial you got from the building department was right, or whether we agree with it or not. Correct?
Correct.
So with 6 bedrooms, how many spaces are required? 6 parking spots. And it looks like, I mean, I see the drawing where you have 5 cars. It looks like maybe you can fit a 6th one in there, but you're not allowed to have 4 in a row in tandem. And I did see your note that, you know, other cities around us don't have that requirement.
Sure.
And you're right. A lot of cities are getting rid of it. Malden hasn't. And we need to follow, this is my opinion. We can't just change it for one person on a whim. We have to follow the zoning rules for the city.
And I looked up on you, do you live on the first floor now?
I live on the second floor.
And how many bedrooms are up there?
2 bedroom.
So you're gonna move downstairs?
We are not moving downstairs. It's just an extra bedroom. So basically, it's going to be connect with the second floor.
They're gonna be all the way down in the basement, okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not for commercial. It's just for family. So everybody like a better
And you have
better
how-
house,
how many
better living
children?
space.
How many children?
I have 2 children.
3 bedrooms. And 3 bedrooms. Now,
Yeah.
or you have, how many upstairs? You got 3 upstairs?
Be
Yeah,
6
3.
total.
Is that including the second unit?
No, I have 2. The house is a 5 bedroom, 3 bedroom on the second floor, and 2 bedroom on the
On the
first floor.
first, and you want to add these in the lower level.
Yeah, I just added.
Oh, was it? Is that right? Am I getting the numbers
It
right?
would be 6 total if this were
Yeah.
to be allowed.
Because it's a 2-family
It's
house.
5 now. 3 and 2. It's probably
I mean, it's probably living room, dining room,
a 5-3-1 and a 4-2-1.
kitchen, and 2 bedrooms. I mean, was originally.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's what I requested variance, to have that waive for me in order to have that accomplished.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it's, the trigger is the bedroom, so you can still finish the basement and use the basement as you wish, but the parking is required for adding bedrooms. So would you still finish your basement if you can't put a bedroom in the basement?
If I can, it doesn't worth it for me, so that will involve a lot of work. So if I cannot add a legal bedroom on my basement, I will not finish it.
And the only thing that triggered this was the fact that there was a bedroom. The only thing that triggered all of this was the fact that
Well, at first it
Yes.
sounded like it was more like a
Like an
rental
ADU?
suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had a kitchenette, but then he took the kitchenette out. And then
Right.
now it's a bedroom, closet, bathroom.
Actually, it was not a kitchen, it was a kitchenette. A kitchenette is a...
That's what she said, kitchenette.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, it's what I
stove,
was
just
trying
a
to
sink
to
and maybe a
do with
fridge.
it. But now it's removed, there's no kitchenette on it, it's just a bedroom and a playroom.
All right. But based on current zoning regulations, not to say they won't change, because, like I said, I mean, it seems like everybody's getting rid of parking regulations. I mean, I know Boston did, I think Revere did, but Malden hasn't. So our job tonight is to decide whether or not the building commissioner was right or wrong in the decision that he made. not to approve the plans.
I will not try anybody who was wrong. So basically, my objective is just have a variance. So basically, I come to the board to see if can I have a variance to waive the parking requirement in order to build that.
That's not how that was presented to us. So on the agenda, it's an administrative issue, and our job tonight is to decide whether or not the commissioner was correct or incorrect in denying your permit. It's not to approve or deny your plans to finish the basement. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do understand.
So, I think I can't make the motion as a chairman. But based on the city's current parking regulations, and what you're looking at,
I make a motion that the decision of the building department was valid based on the current zoning, and that we should uphold that decision.
I'll second that.
All right, ready for vote? Okay. On motion by King, second by Bilgan, to uphold the decision of the building commissioner based on the current zoning, and they are going to uphold his decision. How would we put that down? Okay. Let's take a vote for that. Okay, Froyo?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Bilgan?
Yes.
Godavarian?
Yes.
Kramer?
yes, I want to add, I'm not sure, I just wanted to, I can't tell if you understand or not, though, but I think I would like to, is there a way to show what he can do without needing a variance, or what is allowed? I'm just not, I'm not sure he understands completely, like, what can and can't be done. Is there, can that be discussed with him? Yeah. So, yes.
Okay, all in favor? The decision of the building commissioner has been upheld based on current zoning regulations.
Okay.
Okay. But like I said in that motion, I don't know if you have alternatives in mind, but I said, I just, that's what I meant when I was agreeing to the motion. And I'm not even sure if I'm speaking out of turn, but I think, I'm not completely sure you understand what is allowed and what isn't allowed, and how the bedroom is what triggered this. So you could, it sounds like he actually could finish his basement. It's the bedroom that is causing all of this. You could have
Yeah,
a
it's
completely
fine.
finished basement, and
so
you
you-
wouldn't need a variance at all.
So you got denied based on a bedroom in the basement requiring more parking lots. But if you don't do the bedroom in the basement, you may be able to get a permit for it.
I just wanted to make sure you understood that.
If you put your living room down there instead of upstairs,
Maybe it doesn't work for you, I just wanted to make sure you
No,
understood,
it
like, maybe
doesn't
there's an
work.
alternative.
So why I can get a variance to, just, that can waive that requirement, just a bedroom?
I
if
think,
you can convert one of the rooms upstairs, do you have some? Was that a?
Make your dining room a bedroom.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So there's a number of issues here, and the reason he's not here tonight for a parking variance is that the plan was denied because you can't put a bedroom in the basement by building code, by the way he has it designed. So it is possible to actually design the project where you could legally, by building code, put a bedroom in the basement. If he were to produce a plan which showed that, he would then be back before you for a variance for parking, because he doesn't have the parking to add a bedroom. So the issue before you tonight had nothing to do with the variance. If you had granted a variance tonight for parking, he still couldn't build the bedroom, because it's a violation of building code and you can't provide a variance of that. So what he needs to do is, and this has been explained multiple times since August 1st, is redesign his project so that he has a building code bedroom in the basement if he wants to add one. And then, once we've approved that, we can send him to you all for a variance of the parking requirement. And then you can decide if he should get a variance of that. This project started out with a third unit in the basement, so he's turning a two-family house to a three-family house. We denied that. Then the kitchen turned into some other room, which we denied that, because you can't just put people in the basement to sleep.
So the original denial was because of like the egress for the bedroom windows and the codes were involved in that, is that what I understand
The
now?
original denial was because he was adding a dwelling unit to the basement.
Yeah.
So that's an illegal conversion of a two-family
yeah.
to a three. It's not allowed by zoning, there's no variance, there's no permission, period. We told him that, he then changed it so that it didn't have a kitchen. It has everything else but the kitchen, still had a bedroom. The bedroom's not code compliant. So a laundry list of items were given to him about the bedroom, about the parking. The plans weren't complete. We don't know what the ceiling height is. We don't know what the natural ventilation is. We don't know what the natural lighting is. We never got those completed plans. So it turned into an administrative appeal of our decision as to whether or not this was to be
Okay.
allowed or not. So
Okay.
if he can design a bedroom that's building code compliant, we can then be okay with that, still deny it for the parking, and then send it back to you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, so we already voted on this. I just wanted to make sure that you understood fully what was happening.
So it was never my intention to add a two-unit. It's never, so it doesn't mean the fact he has a small area that was no storm, there was never a plan to put any stove in the kitchen, in the basement. It doesn't make it, if you don't have a stove, if you have just a little sink with a few cabinets, it's not.
I think what we heard just now is that's not the only issue. The building commissioner is saying you haven't shown him any plans with a bedroom in there where the bedroom is compliant with the building code. So I think if that's something you want to pursue, you should maybe have a conversation with the commissioner, with your architect, so his concerns are addressed.
It sounds like there might be a way. It's just not the way you've presented it. And I just wanted to make sure that you understood that. So we've already took our vote, and we're about to adjourn. I just wanted to make sure you were clear on what was happening.
But at the same time, I don't want to spend more money to do a design and after get it denied. So it's a wasting my time, wasting money. So
It sounds like if there's a bedroom down there, then it probably won't meet parking, which probably, I can't speak for the board on how they're gonna vote for that, but.
And other things.
And other
Unless
things,
it's designed to conform to the current building.
I
codes.
don't mind. I can hire an architect to redesign it. That's fine to me. But at the same time, I don't want to keep putting money in something that I know is not going to happen. If today I can get a word, say, design it with the norm,
But I think
what
if you are working with an architect that's familiar with the zoning laws, they could probably create something for you that
But
is.
again, it's something that will come on the board because for parking requirements.
No, if there's a bedroom, you need the parking variance.
Parking, yeah.
And other, maybe.
So if I can get the word today, so basically, okay, I can be granted a variance for parking. Yes, I will design it. I will work with an authorized architect and have it done the right way.
Right, okay. I just wanted to make sure you understood.
No,
Where we
do you
were.
understand my too? I said, if tonight I can have a word, so okay, I will.
We won't make that vote tonight. because we don't have a plan in front of us.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I lost my other one.
It's probably from me. Okay, that's it for tonight. Would
motion to
somebody like to
adjourn?
make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'm not second that. No,
Your second by King. Okay. Motion by Froyo, second by King to adjourn at 7:25 PM. Froyo?
All right?
Yeah, we're good. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion adjourned. All in favor, we're adjourned. At this moment in time, I do not have anything for discussion.